There we go. Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome along. Welcome along. Hi there. Hi there. Happy Tuesday to everyone. And yeah, welcome along. This is part 2 of my Blitz GadTools tutorials. Hello, Graham. Welcome along. Thank you for joining in. Yeah, how are things? Hope you're having a good week so far. I had yesterday off, so today was my first day back. It was as expected after nearly a week off. It was hard going. Hey, RJ, how are you? Oh dear, oh dear, it's pretty miserable here too. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Sure, you'd be disappointed if it didn't involve rain at some point. Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of Father Ted references to be made there as well. Let's see. Now there's something. Sorry, there's something funny going on with my OBS here. One of the little panels has decided not to work. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. We can do without it. Okay, so let's have a quick little recap of where we were last time. Which is this guy. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as a new name. 2. I'll be very original here. Okay, so that we have, so we can see what has changed since. So, yeah, so the last time, what were we doing? We had opened a window, we made it all font sensitive, and we added a couple of gadgets, and they reacted and they worked, as far as I remember. Oh, yes. And we could resize the window, and it all worked well, other than the glitchy corner thing. Yeah. Did I say I was going to look at that? I can't remember. Probably. But yes, that's to do with the Gimme 00 flag. I'm sure I talked about that the last time. But anyways, yeah, okay. Well, let's fix that so anyway. And we can see how we get on from there. Okay. Oh yeah, we added a thing so we can only resize it if we have a greater than a 68K. Yeah. Okay, so let's have a look. Oh, and again, tell me if the music's too loud, too quiet, or anything like that. So let's have a look for our constants, our window flag constants. And let's see where we're going. Gimme 00 is here. So we'll add that to our list here. We need a hash symbol before that. No music at all. Ooh, I can hear music. Let me see. Better? Too much music? Somewhere in between. There it is. Not particularly, oh, shite. Not particularly amazing music or anything, but just to fill in the bits where I'm thinking and not able to talk at the same time. So it's being basically a Monday evening for me. Okay, so window flag. Now, and I also talked about how this is different on Amiga Blitz and Blitz Basic 2, which is mildly annoying. But okay, so now we can see that all our stuff is offset a little bit by the width of the border there and the width of the border at the top. So we have to actually subtract those from all our positions to get them right again. So since everything is all calculated the same way, I'll have the same. We'll set up a couple of new variables. Okay, so we've got our gadget things there. So because it'll be the same offset for everything, what we'll do is we just create an offset. Window offset X, and that can be our 0 and y. So at the moment we've got 0 in there. So what we need to do is set these to the size of the window border. Now ordinarily that will be a standard value for the left hand border, but that can be changed by things like visual prefs, and as well as that on like, you know, the more modern versions of the OS, like on OS 4 and on MorphOS as well, you can the border will change depending on the themes, and so you can change the thickness of the border quite easily. So you can't always guarantee it's going to be 4 pixels wide, which I think is the default. Yeah, I think it's like shine, 2 pixels of color and shadow, if you look at it there. So but we'll take that as 4 anyway. And then the top border is, I think, defaults to 11, but that's only when you're using Topaz. So it's basically, I think, the height of the font plus the height of the border at the, you know, the height, basically the border that's given. We'll say it's 11 anyway for now, just to see if we can get our things calculated. And afterwards I will look them up, if you like, from the screen structs. Okay, so now what we have to do is, and we'll subtract our offset. Well, first off, we need to make that shared. Oh no, we're calling in the wrong thing, aren't we? Window offset X, window offset Y, window offset X, let's do the same down here. Okay, and oh, there's an idea. Yeah, you probably could. That's a fair point. Yeah, because everything is based on those, isn't it? Yeah. Although, well, yeah, except some of the stuff is inner width divided by 2 and things like that, so it wouldn't always calculate out properly. So yeah, well, you could do it that way, and you could have it calculated out, but I think it probably makes more sense at this stage, the way we have this done, to do it yeah, at each point. So but yes, if you weren't doing anything, if you didn't have to divide anything like that, it probably would work. Because what happens is give me 0, 0 gives you it, like, obviously the inner width and inner height are the same, but the offset isn't exactly the same. So I'm just gonna put that down a little bit. Whoa. So yeah, so basically the inner, like, because the inner sizes are the same, those values shouldn't be changed. It's just the origin basically that you're kind of shifting. So that should be, so just as a rough test, let's run this and see what we get. Okay, it's certainly looking a bit better. What did we miss there? One of the buttons wasn't. Oh, yeah, because this is the same Y position as the previous one. You don't need to subtract it again. Of course, yes. Okay, so there we go. Now it's there. And we can see that now we're getting glitches elsewhere, but we're not getting glitches in the border. So even if we move something like that, no glitches in the border. So hooray. Now, the glitch here is what we haven't done is actually erase the gadgets when we resize it. Have we? So, oh, we have inner CLS. I don't know what's going on here now. Calculate gadgets. What's going on? Why is that happening? So it's just the top of the font is. Yeah, that's weird. Ha. Oh, excellent. Is that because it's falling outside the gadget area? Yeah, I think I did find a new bug. But I wonder, is that because the font is ever so slightly at a kind of minus position? Yeah, the Cranley bug. Sounds like a disease, doesn't it? It's got an awful dose of the Cranleys. Okay, so I think what's happening here is that the it's just too close to the top of the window. So because we've Gimme 00 doesn't let you draw outside the window borders, I think what's happened is we're actually sort of slightly too close to the top of the window. Because position 00 is actually shifted down somewhat. Yeah, that's it, because we haven't really taken into account the size of the font. Yeah. So if we make this 2 pixels larger, that should probably solve it. Oh no, it's actually made it worse. I see, yeah. Okay, yeah, because that label is based on the, yeah. You see, if you knock that back a bit, yeah, that should work as well. And what we've done there is we see it'll be very close to the edge here. Yeah, see, what's happened is that Gimme 00 shifts the origin, and it should shift it to like here. You see, but realistically what's actually happened is it's shifted it down a bit more, and what's happening is when I do the window, the inner CLS, it is not letting me draw over. It thinks the window border is here, and to be honest, I think that's a little bit of a bug in terms of the in terms of the changes that they made for Amiga Blitz 3, because in Blitz 2 it moves the origin to here, and the original origin is up here, and Amiga Blitz 3 they've changed it so that the origin is moved to here without Gimme 00, which mean, but you can still draw over the border. So setting the Gimme 00 flag bumps the origin down again to something like there, and then what's happening is we're not able to erase high enough there. So what we need to do is actually move this gadget further down, and there has to be a border, blank border at the top that's at least the width of the top border, which is a slight pain. But our font is 15. Let's see, where's our string gadget? Should be font size plus 12. Yeah, you see, we haven't left enough space above it. So yeah, using Gimme 00 is actually a bit of a pain on Amiga Blitz 3. So what I might do is I might go back to Blitz 2 and load this code in. And hey Dan, how are you? Welcome along. So I'm going to save this code out. I'm going to quit Blitz 3 and go into Blitz 2 and open that. So let's see where I have it here. So Super Dan is here. Dan is doing the Amiga Tool Jam, which is kind of the inspiration for these streams. I'll do an exclamation mark jam there. So this is this is running for another few months, and is a competition, a jam to make some tools for the Amiga. So I'm just giving the Blitz tutorial to show that it can be used for this kind of thing, but it can be done in any language, and but yeah, definitely worth definitely worth giving a go. You know, if you want to try and make, you know, if there's something you had that you wanted to make and you haven't bothered because where do I even start? You know, hopefully these things might be the way to go. And you're welcome, Dan. Thank you very much for running them. This is awesome. I have my first entry ready to go, I think, because there's a category for the most useless tool, and I have my sights set on that because I don't think I have the spare time to make a useful tool. But we'll get there. We get there. Now, where was I going? I was going to shared. Sorry, this is slow. Let me see. Streaming. Nope. It is. And got to a stream test 2. Now we can see how an Amiga Blitz 3 file looks in Blitz 2. You can see here you've got the extra settings and stuff. They're all basically a comment. You can leave them there and they'll be fine. Now, first thing I notice is I used GTList as a constant, and Blitz 2 has decided, oh no, that's a keyword, can't do that. So we'll do something like that instead. And of course we're going to have to change that everywhere. Oh, the next thing is oh god. Blitz 2, the lines can only be a certain length, so using constants is actually a bit of a pain. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's annoying. Yeah, okay, so what was that one? Read and reset. Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same, but this one thing with the this one thing with the gimme 00 flag is just a pain. And I'm going to sort it out now. How am I going to do this? Get an extra couple of characters there. Oh, yeah, no, that's a pain. Yeah, simplest option often is the way to go. What we're going to do is we're going to shorten the constants for the names of the buttons. Button 1, button 2, string gadget. Okay. Oh, can we do find? Definitely don't do that. B2, replace all from the top. Okay. There we go, now we've got enough space. Whoops. I just realized I'm after overwriting that file. I'll get it back from the other one soon. and hashtag place text in. Oh, still tight on space here. Hash place text above 20. I have to rename these as well. Oh, what's happened there? Replace all. Stop. Yeah, so you got 128 characters to use. Oof. let's go with that. We can delete that. But that's quite annoying. Type not found. Oh yeah, because so we're missing our compiler options. The line length is not a limitation in Amiga Blitz 3. And that should be it. STG. Oh, I did STORG, didn't I? Okay. Oh, no, I didn't. I did a STORG for the other ones. String. Select here. GTS, gadgets, dim. Oh yeah, GTS. GT list, oh my god. Another one. Oh, the debugger in Blitz 2 is quite slow. Okay, now you can see it there. Okay, it's working. It seems to be working fine. We don't need our offsets, so if we set let me see, it did still look like it was balanced, didn't it? So let's just set these to 0 and 0, so our offsets are 0. Yeah, this is imported from Blitz 2, so well, what I'm going to do is I'll save as, just so we know, Blitz Basic 2, save it as a Blitz 2 file. And that'll also save the things like the resident settings and stuff like that. So, did we not have the gimme 00 flag? Oh, I see you actually had it on the end there as well, the comment. Okay, so why is that not working? Oh yeah, well, so gimme 00 has shifted everything down. But at least we don't have issues with our borders. So what's the problem there? Okay. So button 1, button 2. So inner height minus 11. Okay, so the problem here now. Oh no, that shouldn't be. So inner height. So inner width and inner height should be 0. So if we do this string gadget at 0, 0, should be right in the corner. I don't get what's going on here now. Button 1. So why is that not? What is going on here? Mildly annoying. I've gone down a rabbit hole here that I probably shouldn't have gone near. Hey, Judge Griefman, welcome along. Welcome along as I wrestle with. Now, see, that's given a 0, 0 there. And giving your corruption. Yeah, it seems to be following the corruption or the thing. I wonder now if I've got a funky setup and I've copied over libraries from Amiga Blitz 3 into Blitz 2. It's quite possible that I've done something like that. Oh, hey Cybernide, welcome along. Welcome in, welcome in. Good to see you here. So yes, so I've just confused all matters now by just by by not finding the bug that I thought was there, so or a bug that's present in both. So that is normally what the gimme 0, 0 flag is for, is so that when you set something to 0, 0, it shows up there. But this is showing up even without it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to abandon this altogether, go back to Blitz 3, start again. Quit. Okay, now, and where's my Blitz 3? Oh, still have it open on as the Amiga Blitz 3. Okay, so that's fine, so we can save that now. And we're back to where we were. Okay. That's what happens when you have the two debuggers and they're kind of messing with each other. Even if you quit them, they still seem to hang around a bit. So yeah, let's up our crash counter. Yup. Okay, back where we were. So, but yeah, basically we have to keep an area clear that's at least the size of the top border. Now, how you get the top border is, okay, we've got our offset here. We've got our font size here. So our top border, we get the borders from the screen because they're actually a property of the screen, not of the window. If I remember right, let me have a look here and see. So if we go to our structs and we go to screen struct, screen, where is it? What's going on here? Why is that just showing? Screen. Struct. Because we've got the screen type there. Look. Hey. Hello, hello. Hello, Fryer85, and hello, Hot Doggo. You've missed nothing of significance because I've spent the first 20 minutes talking about a bug that's in Amiga Blitz 3 and how they do the GadTools, only to find that my Blitz 2 setup is doing the same thing. And then it crashed. So you haven't missed much. So we're kind of starting again now. But what we have so far is we have a basic working program. Looks like that. It can be resized. Yeah, so the crash count is 1 already. And what we have done is we've gotten rid of the corruption of overwriting the borders that we had before last week when we finished. So that's sorted. And now I was going to try and find the size of the window borders from which are actually properties of the screen rather than the window. So well, okay, let's go and look at let's go this way. Okay, so with this lovely definition browser, we go to our screen variable is our pointer to our screen is that, and we can find that we've got 4 values here: top, left, right, and bottom borders. Oh yeah, yep. Right. Good luck with that. For me, that's kind of a never-ending thing. So, so we'll see how that works out. But cool. So if we see here that we've got these 4 properties of the screen: our top, left, right, window border, bottom. Okay. So here we're getting the. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to move them down below here. So we'll keep all the font stuff together. I'll put them there. So yeah. So we're saying our offset is 9 pixels, and we actually don't need that. So I was trying to subtract that away. So I'm just trying to think in my head. We actually don't need to do that, do we? Oh no, we do, because we've added it on twice. Pixel Plop, welcome along. Welcome in, welcome in. How are you? Hope all is well. We are just trying to unravel some. I've been completely thrown by a bug that kind of, yeah, it's a bit funny. So, but what I've done is we had a bug with this program last time, and it was when the window was redrawn, it would, if the gadget overdrew the window border, it would leave that there. It would leave the gadget there. So so it's basically corrupting the window borders. And so now we fixed that, but we have other issues now. In that yeah, basically everything is offset a bit too far down, because basically what we've done is we've added on, to fix that, we use a flag for the window called the gimme 00 flag, which is which I have added twice. So I'm going to take it away from there just for sake of readability and add it on there. It'll do the same thing, and now we can see that's one of the window flags. It's literally gimme 00 it's called, and it moves everything. It moves the origin of the window down by the width and height of the top left border. Now I'm trying to compensate for that because of Blitz is already doing that. Oh yeah. Yeah, because Blitz has decided that it's already compensating for the window border positions. We have to subtract away the border height and width from our calculated positions, and that means we need to get the window border size. Now, on a default setup, that's 11 pixels because it's you know, it's kind of basically that's it. You know, I just remember that from years ago. But when you change your font, the size of the border actually changes as well. So we have to allow for that, or maybe it's 12 pixels. But anyways, so we're already after going into the screen structure to get the font details and use them. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do we'll keep the same or similar name. Equals screen by W, and these offsets are case sensitive. Oh yes, and I will be seeing lots of people at Kickstart, I think. Come and say hello to me. I will be at the Scottish Amiga user group page, or not user group page. Oh, it's been a long week already. I and Grey Amiga there in the chat, we are going to be at the Scottish Amiga user group table. So we have a table in the user groups area. Come and say hello. Come and talk about Blitz Basic if you want. Yeah, we'll be there. Probably drinking. And yeah, so we'll talk to you then. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not organised either, and I have a load of stuff that I said I wanted to get done before that. I'm looking at a pile of half-built circuit boards over there. And yeah. But I said I'd do a stream anyway because, yeah, it's a little bit healthier. And I haven't done one in a couple of weeks. So, yes, but yeah, come and have a look. I'll have my machine there. And yeah, I think Dan's going to be there, isn't he? Dan is coming from Norway like a crazy bastard. He's going to be flying all the way over for this. So I'm looking forward to meeting Dan in person. And that's going to be good. Yeah. Yes, there will definitely be beers involved. Definitely. But yeah, I'll have my machine there. I'm happy to talk about Blitz. Happy talking about nerdy stuff with you. Hardware stuff, software stuff, all good. Come over and say hello anyway. But anyways, yes, so here we have window border left. And so we should have those two values. So what we'll do is, and we're going to print them out to the screen. So now, what I'm going to show you here is, you wait till you see what this outputs. It might not be exactly what you expect. Glad to hear it, Pixel. So our offset is 4x2. Now, the reason for that is we've got it's a 4 pixels offset from the left, and I was explaining about that before. You've got a pixel of the white, the shine pen, 2 pixels of the color pen, and a pixel of the shadow pen. So the border on the left is 4 pixels wide. The border on the top, it says, is only 2 pixels high. The reason for that is that it's adding on, it's basically only 2 pixels higher than the font size. Okay, so our font size is 15 pixels, so that makes that border 17 pixels. But I think the font also adds on 1 pixel at the bottom. So but yeah, so we close that, and I'm nearly sure it does. So what we'll say is our what we'll do is move our offsets further down again. So our offset is equal to and plus fonty size, and that's not what we want. Border top plus fonty size plus 1 font Y size. It sounds like fonty size in my head. Okay, so now our offset is look at that. Isn't that a beautiful thing? So that is, you'll notice, is the same number of pixels as that. So we cannot have our gadgets within the size of the border from the top of the window when you set give me 0, 0. Slightly annoying. And it's probably the same case on the left hand side as well. Now 4 pixels isn't that big a deal, but not being able to use the top 17 pixels or something is a bit annoying. But it does give the thing. So basically we'll have to it seems funny, but so what, yeah, I was going to say it would end up being something like that, so we need to leave at least a border. But of course that cancels out the offset, so should be a case of that. Is that right? Nope. Gone altogether now. Where has it gone? Well, font. So string gadgets font y size +1 plus window border top. There we go. Okay, and now we're not leaving our trails. So basically what that's doing is that's allowing Blitz to add its second borders width on top, and it's dead space. So nothing can be done in that edge bit there either. But there we go. That's it. That's it. Glitch free in all cases. So you can go as small as that and as big as that, and there we go. Okay, so what was I going to do next? If I know there were, I know we were discussing a couple of things last time. Okay, what I can do is add menus, which pretty much, it's absolutely more hassle than MUI, but it has the advantages that it's much smaller and works on every system, even if there's no, even if you're loading from floppy disk or something like that, it's well, it works on every Kickstart 2 system on up. But that's the thing, it is a lot more hassle. You kind of have to manage everything yourself, and that's the disadvantage. But sometimes all you want is just a couple of buttons, and that's good enough. What else? Well, we could look at some more gadgets, some more gadget types. Oh yeah, I was going to work on some menus. I was going to show you some menus. Okay, we can. So yeah, menus are, when we added menus to the Blitz Basic, or to the MUI example the last time. So what I'm going to save that. I'm going to open this, and we're going to just copy the menus lock stock. But yeah, now as you see, that's them. Just to save time, we're setting up the very same menus. Well, not all the same menus. We can get rid of the MUI stuff. And yeah. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of other things there as well, because you don't need all of that stuff. So menu constants. But remember, I had said during the MUI stream that the order is important. So the gadget IDs can be kind of anything, but menu orders have to be, they relate to where they are actually positioned. Now, we don't need the extra event details, like see here we've got EV load. We get rid of that. If we look at the item, so menu item text and shortcuts, so we don't need this string or this value, so all we need is this much, and that's it. So instead of assigning a custom event code to each of these items, there are special commands just for looking after the menus, and I'll show you them now. So we've got our menu strip. Let me see. GT menu. I can't remember. Create menu strip. Because if it's not been called for, you GT set menu. GT set menu. That's what I'm looking for. Not GT set menu checked. GT set menu. Yes. So we don't even need this line here because we don't need to have it, the menu strip as a separate item. Because we only have the one menu list and the one window, we will just go 0, 0, and that should be, oh no, it's not. Wrong number of parameters. Okay, so it's just the menu list because it attaches to the currently used window. Okay, and there's our menus. They don't do anything yet, but we'll sort that out now in a second. But they're there. And now, so we go down to how you use a menu. So we've got our close window event, we've got our gadget up event, we've got our resize event. Let's add a menu event. And that is where is it? Menu pick. Interesting one here is menu help. So the Amiga has a lot of sort of support for help stuff because it did have a help button on the keyboard. It's very rarely implemented, but you get a menu help event if you hold down the help key when you select a menu item. There are some other pretty cool tricks with the menus that are kind of rarely used things, like being able to queue up items. So if you have, for example, a drawer that I'm just like, this isn't going to make sense, but you can go and you can click open, and then you can click some other buttons, menu items, and they will all be picked one after another, so you can queue up the items. And it's quite a cool thing. That's kind of an Amiga exclusive feature, but it's rarely used. It's just one of those things, like dragging files into file requesters. One of those things that not many people seem to know about. But menu help triggers an event if you pick a menu item and you hold down the help key, and that's really cool because you also get gadget help kind of things. You get gadget help events and stuff like that, and it lets you do sort of pop-up help things, and makes your program quite user friendly if you want to, but no one ever uses it. You can even have it open the Amiga Guide documentation on the right page, things like that. Queuing menu selections. This is an Amiga exclusive feature, and so much so that I think that was one of the patents that was actually belonged to the Amiga that Gateway bought, and that whoever got it from Gateway at Tulip Computers or something like that one of the ones that they actually went for, that they were actually interested in, one of the last valuable things. So, but if you have something in here, let's say we make a copy of Snoop Dawson here. So you can select an icon, let's say. I'm just using this as an example, but you can go to, and you can, now see, maybe it's not even going to work because I'm using Magic Menu, but if you use the basic menus, you can click on one, let's say information, and then you click on another one, and they should queue up. And when I cancel that, oh no, okay, it should work like that. But it depends on the items that you pick. So some of them, well, it won't follow on from the other. It depends on the program, but yeah, you get the events queued up if you do that, and you click, and you just sort of click on multiple selections. It is a cool thing. It's very not well known at all, and I think it's one of these things that even disappeared in OS4 and other systems, probably because of the patent. But yeah, it's one of those things like like this thing as well, where you can change a directory to point at a file by just dragging it in. It's something that I did one time when I was doing a presentation, and I took it for granted, and everyone's like, whoa, hold on a second. What did you just do just there? And that's really nice, and no other operating system has that. With the Haiku comes close with that kind of thing, where you can drag the replicant from a window into a file requester to set it, but it's not quite the same. And yeah, it's one of those things that just makes the Amiga nice to use. But anyways, yes. So menu pick. Let's go. Yeah, exactly. It's another one of those things, and you can select multiple programs, and it'll do that as well. Or multiple files, and it will open them all as it'll provide them all as arguments. It's very cool. There are some little things like that that are very nicely thought out. Now, anyways, menu pick. So we'll just print a little message here. So now what we have to do is we get our menu hit. Well, no, well, yeah. Okay, we'll do it the long way. And then menu hit and item hit are just two functions that return the menu number and the item number that was selected. Oh, we're already using inner height for something, aren't we? Menu item hit. I'm going to do, yeah, menu title hit, menu item hit. So, menu item hit. Okay, so what we should do now is we should get some debug output when we choose our menu. So let's have a look at our debug output here. We go load, menu 00, menu 10, menu 03. So you can see there that's the item number and the menu number for whatever we've picked. So that's a little bit more straightforward than the MUI way of doing it. A little bit less flexible as well, because you can't tie the same event to things. But yeah, that's how it works. So we can do a well, we've already have that in a variable. So menu title hit, and we gave them constants, didn't we? Menu 1. Menu item hit. And what did we call them? I'm not going to do them all, but let's say about and quit. We'll just put in about and quit. So we set our quit variable is true if the quit menu item, and then probably don't even need this, but yeah. And that just opens our settings. Well, dun, dun, dun. And that should be it. Let's have a look at that works. So now we go to about. Oh, our quit has disappeared there. This is a test. Fancy. Why did quit disappear? Spacer 2, spacer 1, spacer 2, quit. Where did quit go? That was weird. Okay, yeah. So the numbers need to be sequential. So we're after getting rid of about MUI from there, so we actually have to take that into account here. And now there we go, we have a quit option, and we can see it just quits. So that works. Okay, and it should show, if we go over here, should be able to see, if we open that menu, settings, yeah. So there we go, so all the menu stuff is working there fine. It's a little bit, like I said, a little bit more straightforward, a little bit less flexible than with MUI, with MUI, but it works. It works fine. Let me see. And yeah, that should work for any font size then. It should automatically adjust itself for that. Okay, so more gadgets. If we add more gadgets, what kind of gadgets should we look at? Oh, an interesting one is the list gadget, the list view gadget. You know, like this. But in GadTools, you can only have a single column, and you can't have a column title. So this is kind of a bit fudged with it's an Amiga Blitz 3 thing. But MUI also has the end list, and you can have any columns, and you can drag them around, and you can sort them by name and stuff like that. So there are. It's quite a primitive one, but we can have a look at that anyway because it's still interesting, it's still useful. We give it the ID of list 3. So let's have a look at the list view gadgets. We'll put it in the same place as the others. Use 10 minus W offset X. We're doing the same for that. Yeah. Actually, I see there string gadget. Well, yeah, no, we'll just do it for now. We could say it's the same as the other gadgets, but 10 minus W offset X. And what we'll do is we'll put it below the string gadget. So is equal to it's the Y position of the string gadget plus we have to do font Y size again plus 10. We've just put a gap between them, but yeah, the string gadget will change size with the font, so we have to include that as part of the offset. So and then width and height. So the width will be the same as inner width minus 20, and the height will be, let's say, or should we do something else? Should we do gadgets? So okay, so it's the height of let me think. So the Y position is there, so So we'll take the button 1 Y position and we'll subtract away the position, and then we subtract another 10 for a border. Okay, now let's make our list view. So it's I'm gonna have to try and remember this. List view. Okay. List, comma. And we have the same parameters as here. So we're going to have our X position, our Y position, our width and our height. Oh. Okay. GT list view and text and flags. So I have to give it a title. We'll probably need to do some space adjustments on this afterwards, but there we go. Now, the next item we need to add on there is, you can see here, it's list. Now, this is where things get a little bit interesting, because that's a list array. It's like a standard array, except it's a linked list array. So it's not a standard array. So it kind of works a bit like that, but a normal array, you've got an index. So like if your array size is 100, you can look at item 3, item 27, and you just give it an index and you get that value back. A list array doesn't have indices like that. You can't use an index value. Instead, you can move relatively. So you can move to the start or to the end, and you can move up 1, down 1. List arrays are great. They really, really are. And that's what's expected here. So you need a list. A list array has to have a particular format. I think it needs to be padded with a dummy variable. So we need to set up a new thing here. Yes. So we're going to set up a new type for this. So list entry, and that has to be padded. I'm nearly sure it has to be padded with a word. So and then you put your string in there. So item name dot string. So you can't do a $sign in there, nor in the rest of Blitz you can do that, or you can do .s, but in a new type it has to be .s. So item name is actually the string, because internally it's actually a pointer to a string, but we don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's just it's black magic that goes on in the background. You don't worry about it. So now we need to make a list. And we need to use the keyword list. Okay, and we're going to call that array list items dot, they're the list entry type. Okay, list items dot list entry. So each item in this array is of this type. It's got a dummy 16-bit at the start, 16-bit variable at the start, and then the actual text that's to appear in the list is there. So dim list items list entry, and we have to give it a size. Now in Blitz 2 you do have to give it a size, let's say 100 elements, and that's the maximum size the list can grow to. You can't let it go beyond that, or you'll start corrupting memory and stuff like that. So it's very important to remember to keep count of the amount of items in your list, because you can add items, you can take them away. Always keep count. because if you don't and you get it and you add 101 items to that list, then that extra one item could be ditched on anything. Could corrupt your program, could corrupt the OS, could corrupt your screen data. You know, who knows? Who knows? It's how lucky you're feeling, basically. But Amiga Blitz 3 allows dynamic lists, and if you dim it with the size of 0, then it automatically increases the allocation as you add items, and it takes the allocation, it frees up the allocation as you remove items, which is fantastic. But that's what we're looking for anyway. Dim list items.list entry is there. So list items is the name of our array, and we want to share that. List items array, and that should be it. Let us look at how that looks. Let's see if this is going to crash, because once you start dealing with list items, you've got in these dynamic lists, you've got pointers involved, and oh no, we're okay. GT list view. Oh, okay, I didn't even read the message. Calls with return values must be put in brackets, a wrong number of parameters. Okay. List view, we've got GT list, ID, X, Y, width, height, text, flags. Oh, I didn't add the list. And when you're referencing an array like this, where you're telling it to use an array without actually using a particular item of the array, you just use brackets without any number in them. So list items is shared there, and same here, list items, and that's the array given there. Now we have our little list item, and that should resize. Okay, slightly too tall, because what happens is the list items will be resized to the nearest whole number of font sizes, because each line in there is a font size. So you can see it overwrites a little bit if you go there, and then it jumps suddenly. So we need to make that a little bit smaller. But it almost works first go, which I was quite impressed with. So height is that minus font Y size would make sense actually. Fonty size. Now, there we go. And there's our list view. Except when we go too small. Oh yes, we'll have to limit our window size.
Excellent.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, Wormy. Size limits. We're going to make our window 30 pixels taller. Ooh. Yes, you cannot make it too small. That would have been a big crash. It probably will still be a big crash when I quit it. But, oh, yeah, and a nice feature of the debugger is being able to click on something and it'll tell you the value of it. But I made that, oh yeah, because I think when it started off it was too small. So let's close the debugger. Let's see if we've actually crashed our machine. So we're going to make the minimum height that. Why is that not? Why is that letting us make it too small? Window number XY with height 250. Minimum height 3 times font Y size plus 100. That was 70 and it wasn't crashing. Hmm. 80. Why? Why? Oh God. What's going on here? $71. $72. $73. $74. $75. Now, you guys saw 75 crashed before. Oh. What's happening here? Oh. Oops, no, I didn't want to do that. Let me see if we go into our Windows structure, parent. Oh, I'm going to take a slight detour here because there was something I wanted to talk about the last time that I never did. And it is, so see here where we open our screen. We have a safety thing here. So if the screen can't be opened or found, then we quit. Because we're dealing with screen pointers. If, for whatever reason, Blitz can't open the window, you needed a similar thing to that, just to make sure that the window does actually exist and it was created properly. And because if you try to attach a menu, if the window doesn't exist and you try to attach a menu to it, what'll happen is, or gadgets, or do try to output to it, try to draw on it or anything like that, what happens is you will have a hard crash. You'll crap all over the OS if you try to do anything to a window that didn't open. So you really need to check that the window exists and open properly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like the screen, like how screen is done there, we get the address of the screen like that. We can do the same thing for a window. So peak address window 0. Okay. And that will quit safely if the window wasn't opened. Okay. Now, and that's fine, because I want to have a look at the window structure within the program, and that's how you do it. So now we've got a pointer to the structure of the window. Amiga Blitz 3 lets you take a shortcut to that, so you can do it. You can do it this way, and you change the window statement into a function, and that does the same thing. Now on Blitz 2 you cannot do that. You have to do it this way, using the peak and the address functions there. But Amiga Blitz 3 lets you do that, and it's a nice little shortcut, a bit closer to how the actual system calls work. If you're doing anything like this with C, you always test for success and quit safely if if for whatever reason you're out of chip RAM or something like that and can't open the window. That's the way to check. But now what I want to do is I want to actually look at the window structure, which will have the minimum and maximum size in it. So struct. So we're going to look at our variables. We've got our window variable here. See, min width, min height, max width, max height. Because I think this feels like there's a bug in the size limits thing here. And I wonder what's going on there. So let's Windows oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Width, height, win. And height. Okay, so now we have variables that show the that we've actually taken from the OS. So we're not this size limits command, something funky with that. Convinced it's buggy. So let's have a look at this. So something like that. So let's have a look at what this tells us about our window. Oh. So 128 by 64 and the maximum is -1, which means it's not set, or is basically, yeah. 65, 535 each way, which I think is the kind of the limits of the OS on screen size anyway. So because everything in Blitz is signed, so I think it just wraps around. Let's try change them to long just for curiosity and see what it gives us. Oh no, still, yeah, basically infinite. Okay. We'll put our default output back on again, or put it on there instead, and get rid of it there. So let's see what happens if we go and do this again. I mean, 150 by 121. So that looks right. Oh, what's going on? By 120. It does look like it's calculating right. Okay, that wasn't even the smallest. So now this runs the risk of crashing, but let's have a look and see if we can figure out what's going on here. So our X position is 3, Y position. Oh. Oh no, list is coming up. Gadgets X is 6. And Y position is 43. Width 122. And the height 3. It didn't like that, so maybe, yeah, maybe it's just falling between stools there with the checks. So maybe I forgot we have another label in there for the list view, so let's do that. Oh, starting to get funky stuff going on here. Oh, la la la. Min size. Min Y size, font Y size. So the minimum is 140 now, so that should give us... Let's just keep going until we get it working. Okay, we just needed to go much bigger. Okay. Fine. Fine, fine, fine. Let's make it 120 just to solve the issue. Okay, and now, but now you can also set the minimum size and maximum size using these points. Okay, we do actually slightly corrupt there, just slightly. But anyways, now it's working a little bit better. And we need to adjust our height of that gadget as well. List view height. Did I not take away something from that? Gadgets height minus font Y size minus 10. I thought I'd already done that. Maybe, oh, maybe did it crash and I never saved it. That's what it was. Okay, cool. There we go. Now it's working. Okay, so our gadget is working, although it doesn't actually contain anything at the moment. So this is where things get fun. Let's add another item. Come at. Oh no, that's not there. So we're going to add an item to the menu, which is the add item. We don't need to, oh. Okay, and so we have an add item. And what that'll do is it'll add an item, funny enough. Add item to list view. Okay, now, so dealing with a list, what do they call it, a list array, you need to add the items, but again, you need to check for success, whether you're going to actually, you know, because you can't deal with an item that doesn't exist in Amiga land. That's just crash, crash, crash. So we can't do that. So what we do is there's a function, if add item, and we give it an array name, which is our list items. And again, we're referencing the array without a specific item in mind, so we just give it the name of the array and the brackets to show that it's an array. And if add item, then we can do, then what we do is we say that item, and again, we don't put anything in the brackets, because that, when you do it like that, it means it's the current item. And what did we call it? The text, was it? Item name dot string. Item name is equal to let's see. And we add 1 to the item count. So a little variable. So let's say, let's do it up here. Where were we dealing with that? List. Yeah. Add item. So add item to list view. Okay. So what we've done is we've added an item to the list. It doesn't actually show up on the list because we haven't redrawn the list yet. See, when you redraw it, do you see that? Now it's after showing up, and that's it. And so we can do that. Let's add an item, add an item, add an item. Let's use the shortcut and we add loads of items. Okay. But again, it doesn't show up until the gadget is redrawn. So there we go. Now, why is this scroll bar not working? Oh, we're using the Kickstart 2 color scheme on the scroll bars, which is fantastic when you're using Kickstart 3. But I'll show you how to fix that now in a minute. Anyways, there we go. So you can see we're getting an event when we click it. So gadget 3 clicked. And there are some properties of this that we can change, but I'll show you that now in a second. But basically, we're getting that done. We can scroll up and down. That's fine. But yeah, so a couple of things to fix. First off, we need to redraw the list. Now, you can obviously just redraw the whole window, contents, but I'm nearly sure there's a way of redrawing just that gadget. Let me have a look at the list view documentation. GT list view. Selected and top. Okay. Okay, you should do an add IDMC. Okay, so basically the window needs to look for the list view event flags, which it normally wouldn't. So we're getting a basically a gadget clicked event, but yeah. So we might add that now in a second. Oh yeah, and there we go. Pad.w. The first item displayed. Ooh, there we go. That's what we needed. Give me 0, 0 position. Sets global mode for a gadget creation on or off. Okay, so I think what was happening was in Blitz, in Blitz 2, it was defaulting to that, and I think it's possibly not defaulting to that anymore. So there you go. Anyways, we'll look at that now afterwards. But what I want to do is refresh this gadget. Now, how do I do that? Okay, well, let's look at this GT new look prop. Okay, this is a command for okay, so it's using the Kickstart 1 look, not the Kickstart 2 look. So we'll change that. We'll keep that open for now, but let's just change it to see if we can get our thing working. So we do this before we create our gadgets. I think that's as simple as that. And is it? And let's see. Yeah, there we go. So now our scroll bar looks like it should. So new look prop turns that on and off. There we go. One problem fixed. Okay, for now let's just freeing a gadget is not a good idea. I'm sure there's a refresh, or there was a refresh method, or a refresh redraw something or other. Maybe they're not. Well, so where's our resize event? So we detach the GT list. Don't know if just detaching it and reattaching it is enough. Yeah, there we go. Although the prop is not fully, it kind of works, but not fully updated. Okay, maybe, oops, that's not what I wanted to press. Maybe I need to set that thing. So when you open a window, it uses a standard set of event flags that it looks for, the IDCMP flags. You can change what the you can change which event flags it looks for with the default IDCMP. So, but what you can do here is add the add IDCMP command that basically takes the standard list of the default list and adds in whatever you specify. I think it's IDCMP list view, but well, let's see what it says. Yeah. IDCMP list view. Oh, okay. Let's see. IDCMP. Let's see if we can find it. List view IDCMP. Don't know if that'll work, but let's see. No, still doesn't work. Okay. So I think realistically you have to detach it and reattach that gadget or recreate the gadget. I'm sure there's a way of doing it, but for now we can we know we can just refresh that. So let's see. Free GT list. What was there? What was the command? GT free gadget, wasn't it? Whoops. I'm not sure if it works properly. That's very reassuring. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try is just recreate just that gadget. Now this could fall on its arse horribly. Let's see what happens. Gadgets, height, and our list items. Yeah, that has fallen on its arse. The program's dead. Yeah. There we go.
Oh dear.
Yeah, let's
Oh dear.
add to the crash counter there. Okay, anyways. Yes, for now we shall just redraw the window. Brute force it. Okay. Okay, detach GT list. Yeah. And then call the calculate gadgets function. Now, there we go. It is, like I say, it's brute forcing it, but it works. Now the last thing is to get the item that was hit. So here's where we get our gadget hit. So that's firing off and saying that gadget 3 was clicked. Okay. Music has stopped playing. I don't know. Let's do that. Okay. So now we know that we're getting an event there. We're not doing anything with it because we don't have an entry here. So if we put our list view entry here, what we have is event code is the function. So it's like event hit or it's like gadget hit. So let's go ec.w is equal to event code. An event code is the code, and this kind of means this is kind of a event code gives you a value based on context. So it depends on what the it depends on what kind of gadget it is. So this should give us the item code. So if we go and click here, item 3, item 4, item 6, we go down the bottom, item 12. Okay, so that lets you deal with whatever it is, so you can deal with whatever item that was clicked, which is fine. So we can use that then for other things. So we're going to repurpose a couple of buttons. Should we? Oh no, we'll just add another menu item. So we can remove an item. So we need to add that constant up here. So now we can remove an item, although we haven't got any. So we add items. That's cool. That all works. And what we'll do actually So because we can see that item was selected there, item clicked. Now what we can do is, this is now using this method of basically with this event code, we can't directly get the item that was hit. Because it's a list, because it's a list array, is one of the downsides of using a list array is that you have to actually step through it forwards and back. So while the list is all nice and visible there and it works really well for a lot of things, you can't just go to item 20 or item 6 of a list variable. It just doesn't work that way. So what we have to do is we have to basically go to the start of the list and count all the way down again, which is a bit of a pain. But we'll set up a little function that does it. So let's do that. So set item. Oh no, set item. What's that? Set item. Oh, it's not actually there. What does set item do? I was going to, and set item array name and pointer to the item. That's interesting, because we might be able to use that, because we might be able to get a pointer from the list view and then set the list to that item. But let's see. Commands, list view, list address, address.list, finds the list structure. GT list address. No, it's not. Not what I'd hoped. So there's our list structure for calculating the selected number. The first item displayed is item 0. To make full use of the selected parameter. Ah, okay. So this is where it's similar to MUI. We have to start dealing with tags to get our set and unset items. So use the abilities of these command. Okay. This command is used. Okay, so you can set the tags of the next command that you create. So the list view. So before we create the list view, we have to set the tags that we want to use. So the first one we want to use was GTLV selected. So GTLV GadTools list view. Let's have a look at what these are. GTLV item height labels, make visible max pen, selected and show selected. That's what we want to do. And we're going to put that at 1, I think, just to turn it on. So, you know, to give it a non-zero value. Or no, we'll use true. So show selected will mean that the cursor stays on. So you saw that when you click it, it just highlights it and then it goes away. So, oh yeah. We'll come back to that bit. Oh. Oops. Doesn't like that tag. So maybe we set it to 1 instead of doing it that way. No. GT list. How do we make that stay on? Okay. We'll come back to that one. I wasn't really sure that was it, but what am I missing? Okay, we'll come back to that. But okay, so we're going to deal with the event. Item selected, and we're going to jump through the list. So we're going to move to item. So there's a function or a statement that we're going to set up, and that moves through the list to whatever item number that is. So where are our functions statement here? Oops. And then move to item. And then we take an item as a parameter. And first thing we do is we get that array, list items array. And now what we do is we go to reset list. That kind of clears the pointer for the current item, so there isn't a current item. And then then we just jump through it, and then now this is safe to do because next item will return as 0 if it's not able to complete it'll fail if it's not able to complete it. So you can run it as many times as you want, and it will just keep on failing if you go beyond the end of the list. So that's fine, but that will always fire at least once. So even if it's item 0, it will go from I equals 0 to 0, and it'll just jump to the next item. In that case, is the first item. So now that we've jumped to our first item, where's the item selected? Move to item. What we can do is then we can get our what's it called? Then we can get whatever we have, you know, the equivalent string to that. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to change the string to it. We're going to change the string gadget to match whatever's selected in the list. Item name. Okay, so this should set the string gadget to whatever we click on. So let's add some items, and then boop, there we go. That works. Now, removing items is a fun bit. Now, for that to work, we need to where are we going? We need to get these tags working. Now, I'm trying to remember. I'm sure I've done this before. GT tags, list view, show selected. Why What do I have to set that to? Oh, no. You know what? I know what's going on. I think it's that this is the value that I have to set. Is it? No. GT tags. Let's have a look at this more documentation. This command can use to set the tags which are used for the creation of the next gadget. Only the next gadget. You can specify multiple tags to keep adding them. Tag and the value. You can vary gadgets. Might be time to look at the auto docs. Okay, so here this should give us our tags. GT slider, scroller, number, mutual exclude, list views, GT list view, show selected. Oh no, that's okay. So that's that's for automatically doing what we did there. That is select an item. Okay, so that's not what. Oh, what is the tag for setting it that it stays highlighted? List view kind. Currently selected item or 0 to have no current selection. Or null. That's annoying. Okay, so struct gadget, that's actually cool because we can use that to update the text automatically, so you don't need to do what we did there. But that's fine. What is the flag for making it stay selected? Ah. Oh, so you not need to call this other times. Okay. So okay, begin refresh and end refresh. That's interesting. I'll see if that can be used for GT set gadget attributes. Okay. I can't remember how I did this, so I'm going to look at some other source code and see what I did before for something else. Files, Amiga Blitz. What was done? Oh, I always go back to SMB mounter. Now. So, GT list view, show selected, comma 0. Show selected 1. Why is that now? What is going on there? Oh, that's not the right one. Um, hmm, 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 hmm. GT tags. Okay, that's all very weird. Because the show selected as tag is being set to 0. Now, well, let's try it, but that shouldn't work if that's supposed to be the address of string gadget. Yeah. But it works. Okay, so setting it to 0 means that the highlight stays on. And hey, Proton Fig, how are you? Happy Wednesday. Are you in the future? Are you in a future time zone? Okay, but anyways, I'm happy I got this working. So the highlight is staying on now, which is cool. So now we can use that to remove the item. Now we haven't added that yet, but now we know where we are. So what we're going to do is, if we've got a menu hit, and yeah. Yay! Oh yeah, you're definitely in the future. You're well in the future, Varen. But welcome along. Welcome along. We're kind of, well, probably going to be another little while and then we'll finish up. But we're faffing about a bit, but we're getting there. We've made a little program with GadTools list view and got rid of all our graphical glitches when we were resizing windows. But GadTools resizable. We can add items to our list. We can add items with our keyboard shortcut. We can select them. We can scroll up and down. And yeah, that's it. So what we're going to do is, haha, very good, very good. Well, hope it's fun in the future. And that's a late one for a weeknight, isn't it? But okay. So menu 2, and we're going to add a new case here. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of space in between these just to make them a little bit more visible. Nice. Well, good morning, guys. So to remove an item from the list, we're going to do the same thing as we do with the add item. We're brute forcing this. We probably shouldn't have to, but ooh. Yeah, and okay, so we're going to keep on. We're not going to worry about like decreasing our item count, just to keep the numbers, just to be interesting. So what we'll do is so yeah, so that's our redraw. Oh yeah, so sorry, I did want to do yes, so what we need to do is we need to move to our what's it called? Move to item. So first off, we need to find a current item. So we could kind of keep track of it based on the event and keep track of the event code that fires off. But what we'll do is we'll do current item with GadTools get attributes. So the attribute we're looking for is okay, GT list. And the attribute we're looking for is GTLV selected. So this is just the number of the selected item. Okay, so that's our current item. So once that menu item is selected, current item is that. And then what we do is we reset our list, go to that item, and then kill item. And so kill item takes away whatever the current item is. And then we have to detach our GT list and we redraw our gadgets. Okay, so kill item is used to take away whatever the current item is in a list array. That's it. Literally just deletes it and it attaches the list to either side of it to it, so it just disappears. So then you end up on the previous item or the next item. Anyways, let's have a look at how that works. So we add some items, loads of items there. We can go to there and we can delete item 12, remove item. And we see we've got item 11 and item 13. See? So it's just gone. So we can remove that. You can remove some other items. And they're not there. And all the other items are lined up all correctly. Now, because we're redrawing the item from scratch, our highlight has disappeared. So we can set that again. And what we'll do is, so we redraw our gadgets and then we'll set the attribute again. And maybe that should work. Let's see. So if we delete item 4, there we go. Let's see what happens when it runs out of items. Yeah, there we go. Happy days. That's pretty much working. Oh, except when we resize it. Haha. So that's something we need to bear in mind when we refresh the thing. So yeah, so there has to be a way of refreshing it. Let's try. What did we see there in the documentation before? A window refresh method. Gadget. Let's look at this. So GT begin refresh and end refresh. Okay. GT begin refresh. Now, it is looking for the struct of the window. We have that. IDC MP refresh window event. I wonder, do we actually need to get that, or can we just call it GT begin refresh? Let's try it. And that uses the pointer to the window struct. which we got earlier. And refresh. Now, does that work? Oh yeah, we don't need brackets because we're not using it as a function. We're not looking at the return value. No? GT end refresh. What is the complete parameter? True when done with refreshing. Okay. Okay, it's not adding the items. It's not doing the refresh. Ah, la 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 la. ICMP refresh window. Okay. Begin refreshing friendly to GadTools. I will check what I did here. So let's see what this is in SMB Mentor. So redraw window. Oh, this is written a while ago. The code's a little bit clunkier. Now. It seems GT list view. I'm just recreating the gadgets. Now, why is that? Why is that? Okay, I don't have a better way of doing it. Let's see. Redraw window. Remove mount. Let's see. Select mount. Kill item. Ah, there we go. GT change list. Knew there had to be a simpler way. Okay. Commands of GT. There we go. And GT change cycle and change list. Yeah, okay. So that's an easier way of doing it. Much easier way. And obviously it will be much quicker as well. Okay, so change list and list. So we do that to disconnect from the gadget, and then we do the same thing again, but we give it the list. And that's all. I think. Let's see. Well, there we go. Grant. Excellent news. And what we'll do is we'll do the same down below as well. GT change list, and so we should be able to remove items as well. Remove items. Yeah, there we go. Remove. There we go. Okay. So that works. Oh yeah, last thing is when we redraw it, we're losing our current item. So current item, and then we set it again afterwards. So add, and we've selected item that, resize. Cool, let's see if that actually works for this. Oh yeah. So it always resets to the top item being 0. So there is another parameter you can set that chooses which item is the top visible. And GT list view top, I think it is. Let's add a new item here. Let's delete that.
Oh dear.
Hey, there's Kareem. There's a group of Italians. What's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in. How are things? Hope you're well. We are doing some more coding. We're dealing with a list view gadget, which is kind of what it says on the tin. But what we're going to do is we're going to make it resize without losing where it is in the list. And for that, we're going to store the top item. Well, that's not what I wanted. GT list view top. Good stuff. Glad to hear it. And then we're going to reset. That. Now let's see if that works when we resize it. I think it's. I think football's full on Thursday, isn't it? I don't know if I can, to be honest. I'll have to see, but yeah. I think they have the full 10. Mind you, usually get a few dropping out during the week, don't you? But yeah, I think they're full anyway. Let's have a look. We add loads of items. Let's select item 17. Top item is item 7. Oh, there you go. Top item doesn't move. So top item number 13. Now top item's 11. There we go. All working as it should. Happy days. Last thing I think I'll do, and then I'll probably call it, is to get a double click. So how do you actually determine a double click? And you know, you can get the time of an event, and that's how you would do it. So if you were to double click this, that it actually, like, you know, does something. So we can get it so that it only updates the text when you double click it. So single click selects it, double click sets the text. So let's do that. But the double click basically is there's a system setting, or you know, you can choose it in the preferences how long a double click is, and there's a function in the system. There's a function in the Amiga OS that you give it the 2 times and it tells you whether it's a valid double click or not. And it's as simple as that. So let's do that. So here are our gadgets. Gadget hit, so event code there. So what we'll do is we will only do this stuff here when it's a double click. Okay, so the double click still counts as a list event, after triggering. So it's still the gadget getting the trigger, but and what we do, so we get our event code here is the item that was clicked. So first thing we need to do is first thing we're going to do is previous event code, because we don't want to double click when you click on two different things, on two different items. You don't want that to trigger it. So EC so what we'll do is we will look at let's see, what's it called? Event sex. No, that's not it. Event sec. Ooh. It's in event code, but it's in, let me see. Where is it? Event. Oh, the event timing, event sex. It is, but I can't remember the command. It's not event sex. Or it doesn't. That doesn't seem to be triggering. Hey. Oh, Biffabin sex. Oh, come on. My poor memory. I have to look it up here, see how I did it. Dum dum dum. E6. Oh, it's using macros. What? Okay, so there isn't a simple call for this. Macros. This is a problem because this is using an include for this is using a blitz include and event seconds and event micros. I can't remember how to do that without using the blitz or without using the Amiga Blitz 3 include. I'm sure there was a way. Oh dear. Event I address. That's probably where that stuff is stored. Well, let's have a look at the intuition include just to have a look. It's 3 source codes includes intuition. So event seconds. Intui engine. Ugh. Why you do this? Window. How is it populated? Yeah, no, I'm not going to troll through all that stuff. Okay. Macros are pretty cool, by the way. It's a compiler macro, so you tell it some text and it subs in, the compiler subs in whatever text you give it at that point. But that include yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the double click this way, cause yeah, it's just too messy, and I don't have the head to calculate it out myself. But anyways, okay, something. Let me think. Was there anything simple that I need to do that I said I'd come back to? If you want to do the if you want to have a look at the if you're in Amiga Blitz and you load up the Intuition include, there's a demo program down the bottom, and it shows the it shows how to use that include, and that includes stuff for. Sure, let's run it. What's the worst that can happen? But yeah, that includes. Yeah, it shows. It's basically the same kind of thing, but that shows. It's not resizing. See, there we go. Terrible stuff. But that does not include. Yeah, the double click event, but you can kind of see in the include how it works. Yeah. Into the engine seconds. So let's see where that's set. Probably gets it from the message, does it? What's going on there? Double click. Yeah. Where does it even populate? It doesn't. It doesn't populate it explicitly. It probably just copies over the entire struct from the message. It just stores the entire message in that struct. Okay, well that's kind of annoying, but there we go. Right. If anyone has any other suggestions for a quick GadTools thing to do, I will, I'll happily have a quick look. I'm just trying to think, what else was there with these items? Oh yeah, when you actually set up the gadget. Cycle gadgets. Yeah, I can do a cycle gadget. They're actually quite quick and easy. Let's do a cycle gadget. So let's put a cycle gadget as gadget ID 4. And let's see, button, list view. And we're going to set up we're going to do something the same as this kind of thing. But it's going to be the same as the string gadget almost. So cycle gadget, we'll put it under the list view and above the buttons. Okay, so our list view height has to be reduced by, let's say 20. Oh well, let's font size times 3. Okay, so cycle gadget. Oh no, we won't do that. We'll do times 2. So cycle gadget, and we just for being different, we'll put the label to the side of this one. Actually, no, that's just complicating things as well. We'll put the label on top of it. And it's going to be similar size to the normal gadget, but okay. So the Y gadget font size plus 1. Okay, that should actually go at the bottom of the. Oh no, we'll calculate that from the bottom. So we're gonna copy that position and just take it away from the buttons at the bottom. We'll align it with the buttons at the bottom. So our Y position is going to be the same as the buttons minus font Y size and a border of 10 pixels, let's say, or 5 pixels. No, let's go 10 pixels because the gadget will be slightly bigger than the font as well. Okay, and all the other proportions should be the same. We're going to copy that one. Don't know, we don't need that line there. Fonty size, yeah, that's how I'm reading it in my head too. Yeah, fonty size. Okay, so cycle gadget. Go. And okay, so if we look at the parameters for, they're all GT cycle. If we look at what's going on here, so most of the parameters are the same as all the other gadgets. So we've got XY, the GT list ID, XY width height, and the text is let's just call it the type. This is the label, and we put it above as well. And then what we need is the options. Okay, so options, the type are but you just separate the different options with the pipe symbol, and then you can add and then you can set the current type. I'm just going to add this now. I'll go over that now in a second, but we'll just add current type as a shared current type. I will initialize it here. So, okay, so that's our current. You don't need to include that, and if you don't include that, it defaults to the first item. But what I'm doing is I'm including it there just so that because we're going to use this same routine for redrawing the gadgets, we want to keep the status of that gadget intact. And okay, let's have a look. Well, we don't need that anymore. Okay, we need to just work on our spacing a little bit, but there's our cycle gadget. Doing its thing. We're getting an event for that. But so far we're not reading what's actually involved there. But yeah, what we're going to do is adjust the spacing between them. The list view height, let's just say that minus 20. Okay, we probably need to make the window bigger now as well. So we go down here and size limits, min y size. Let's make that 20 pixels taller. So it's not pretty, but it works. But yeah, something like that. So there's our gadget. Tool, trash, and we can choose it there. Now, what we need to do then when that gadget gets changed. So we add an event, and then I think you can use the same EC. We'll give you the event code. I'm nearly sure that'll work. Let's have a look. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see, you get your ID of the item there. So that's it. It's very, very simple. You can also read and write the event code. So we'll do that when we redraw the window. So we only redraw the window when we resize, actually. So current type equals so we're going to get that attribute or attribute GT list and list. Oh no, cycle, sorry. And GT, and all the cycle flags are GTCY active. And that'll return the currently active what's it called, currently selected option. And then we just set it back. Well, we won't even need to set it back because I've set the so if we set that to tool, it stays there even when we redraw it, because when it recreates it uses that value. But we can set the attribute the very same way. We can say set attributes. Whoa. You can do it the very same way that way, and that will set it whenever you want. So we can, if we get rid of that current type from there, it should still work. It should still remember its type. So type drawer. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so you can use that, like you get the get attributes to do the same thing there, and that kind of shortcut technique I use there, like, you know, setting the default value at the creation time. You can do the same with the list view. You can set the top item and the selected item as well, and that will, you know, that'll kind of speed things up. But yeah, there we go. Yeah. So what we could do is we could set the type based on for each item. So if each item has a property of a type, so let's do that just to show. So each list entry is you can add other items to this. It probably makes it a bit longer for redrawing the gadget, but let's do it. Item type. So we added it in there. So what happens is if we clicked on an item, so when we click on the list, we go there and we go and okay, so when we click on an item, it will update the cycle gadget to that type. And then when we click on the cycle gadget, we can also do the same thing. You know what we need to do? We set current item up here, just to make sure we don't just to make sure we don't access this when we shouldn't. We'll set a default value of -1. So the current item, and that shows that there are 0 items in the list. Okay, and that's kind of important. Let's see if it actually it probably already does that automatically. Let's see. Let's see what it gives us. GT. What was that error? Calls a return value GT or wrong number of arguments. Set attributes. List items. Item type. We did say it was item type, didn't we? Item type. What's going on here? Item name. List items. Field item name. No, the set attributes. Oh yeah, sorry. So we have to tell it it's like the active value parameter that we're setting. Okay, so let's see, current item -1. Yes, so it already does that. Sets -1 if there are no items selected. So that's fine. If current item is not -1, so if the current item is not -1, it means we have at least one item in our thing, and so our current item should be set to that already. So is event code, but it's the same thing as getting the attribute itself directly. Okay, so when we change that, it should make no difference. It shouldn't crash. It should just work. So let's test this. Item 2. Oh, they're all defaulting to disk for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Let's set that to project. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. So, why? Okay, so when we click on our list, we get let's get this output here. So to add some items. Item 1, type is 0. Item 2, type is 0. Yeah, that's fine. Type selected 1. Okay, no, that is actually fine. So if current item so when we click on there, oh, we don't get the current item when we click on the list. It's only when we move or change the list. So current item is the event code. So let's add some items. Some Christmas music. Excellent. So item 2 is a drawer instead. There we go. Let's set item 8 to a tool. There we go. So now each one of these has a property, and we can change that property and it stores it in the list. Okay. So does that make sense to people? I hope it does. Any quick questions? Cool. Excellent. So I would probably leave it at that if there are no quick questions. No worries. Thanks very much. Yeah. So that's it. 2 crashes. That's not too bad. Not too bad. And yeah, sure, that'll do. I'll put the code up on my GitHub. I'll have to. It's on. I'll put it on the Blitz Basic Discord anyway. But yeah, the code is simple enough. But yeah, I'll stick it there so you can load it in. I'm trying to think, are there any other gotchas or anything I need to think of? Not really. No, thank you very much, guys. Thanks, Pixel. Thanks everyone who came along and watched. Greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I hope that made sense and all that. But yeah, like I said, going to be a Kickstart next weekend. Come along, say hello. We'll be in at the Scottish Amiga table. This is what I look like. So yeah, you can have a word, ask me some questions. I'm also on the Blitz Basic Discord and the Blitz Basic or the Amiga Tool Jam Discord. And yeah, wish you could go as well, but that's a hell of a trek. It's a hell of a trek. But yeah. Yeah. Yep, indeed. That'd be some journey. Mind you, there was someone from Australia who was at Amiga Ireland this year. He made the trip, but by all accounts, he was, had plenty of money and more time and more money than sense. But there you go. He yeah, interesting stuff. But there we go. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming along. I will leave it there and I'll go to bed. Let me see. Who have we got? Who can we raid? We've got Tonda. What's Tonda playing? Tonda's playing some arcade games. So we'll give him a raid. He gives a very, very warm welcome to raiders. So I've got to raid him just for that, if nothing else. So, right. Where's Tonda? Yeah. Okay, well, actually, he hasn't even started yet. So, Yeah. Well, let's see. Oh, funny things are happening. Let's see. Let's give him a second to start up. Or yeah, what's he doing? He's going to, yeah, he'll be doing arcade requests. Let's yeah, let's give that a shot anyway. Right. Okay. Thanks very much, guys, and talk to you soon. Good night.
Hey everyone, welcome in. Good to see you all. Hope you're having a great week. Daedalus, thank you so much for the raid. How are you doing today? Thanks for bringing your people over. Greatly appreciate you thinking of me and sending your people my way. As we always do, we like to give a nice warm welcome to people that raid us. So let's do that. Yeah, the request is there now, so feel free to request games. Sorry about that. I was like, I want to go on early, and then I started early, and then I forgot to do that thing. All right, here we go. You ready for one of the warmest welcomes on Twitch? Some may even say it's a little too warm of a welcome, but I'll let you be the judge of that. You ready, Daedalus? Here we go. Hold on. Welcome in everyone from Daedalus's channel. If you all don't know me, you're just new here in general, it's nice to meet you. I'm Tonda. I love playing retro games here. I love doing first time playthroughs of games that I didn't get to experience when I was growing up. I especially love playing the obscure ones. And on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, we do request nights. So tonight we're doing arcade games. If you want to know how to request a game or any of the rules regarding that, do !request in chat and you will get all your answers. I also like long walks on the beach. I like candlelit horseback rides along the beach, and also like candlelit sandworm rides across the desert while kitties and puppies trail along behind us from a very safe distance as we head off into a sunset/sandstorm while holding hands and watching anime. So thank you again for the raid. Greatly appreciated, Daedalus, and I hope you are all having a wonderful week. Everyone go check out Daedalus's channel if you all don't. If you all enjoyed the content over there, then please give them a follow, and thank you for listening very much. Thank you very much for listening to my Ton Talk. Mandatory wink. There we go. Pigeon's been trying to get that picked for the longest time. All right, we're back. Yeah, thank you so much for the raid once again. Gorf, yeah. Yeah, right. Raiden's a good one too. Get the music back on. Yeah, welcome back. Pigeon, Grimlocker, Coffee. I didn't get to properly say hello to you all, and welcome in Raiders once again. Daedalus 2515, how's it going? Nice to see ya. RJ, welcome in, and all the rest of the Raiders. Sidewalk, how you doing today? Suki, good to see ya. And anyone else that's